Welcome to Senior Care Insights Season 2, Episode 1, and we are very thankful for our sponsors for this season. We have Brookdale as well as Courtyard at Delta as our sponsors. Today we have some exciting guests. We have Audrey Kingdon from Brookdale. We have SarahKate Van Auker from the Courtyard at Delta, and we also have Ashley Crosser from the Alzheimer's Walk. And we will be starting shortly. Hi, Audrey. How are you doing today?
Hi, Deb. I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
This is Audrey Kingdon from Brookdale, and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Brookdale?
Sure. So again, my name is Audrey Kingdon, and I am part of the sales and marketing team for Brookdale Meridian Assisted Living and Memory Care. And I've been in the senior living industry for about 8 years. And I've been working with Brookdale most of that time. Brookdale is the nation's largest senior living provider. We're in many states, and in Michigan, we have over 35 locations.
Awesome. And you work at the location here in Okemos, correct?
Yes, that's right. We're in Hazlet, right near Okemos and East Lansing.
Okay. So tell us what Brookdale offers that other assisted livings may not.
Well, all assisted livings are going to offer care around the clock with in-house caregivers. At Brookdale, the approach that we take in providing that care is to base that care based on acuity or the needs of the individuals that choose to live with us. So it allows us to provide more unique and specified care to the individual versus providing that care on a staffed ratio. So that would be probably the biggest thing that Brookdale does that's unique versus others in the industry. And that allows us to meet people's needs quicker and, allow them to have a quality of life that they probably aren't going to be able to get at other places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always super important to make sure that you have the caregivers you need, the number, as well as the people who can actually do what's needed for that client in particular. We do the same thing at First Light Home Care, so we want to make sure our clients are well taken care of as well. So can you give us what the differences are between independent, assisted living, memory care, and skilled services?
Sure. I think this is something that people easily get confused on, especially because so many independent livings are presenting themselves very similarly to assisted living. So independent living, they typically do not have in-house care. They have an arrangement with a third-party company to provide that care, whether they have offices located on site or not. The biggest thing to remember with independent living is that this is really for someone who's physically independent, really just doesn't want to maintain their home anymore. They're just looking for a more social environment, and they're still able to cook and clean and do their laundry, or they have the funds to pay for those things a la carte if they aren't wanting to do them anymore. For an assisted living, that's when you get into the realm of being licensed through the state. You're going to be either a home for the aged with a minimum age of 55, or you're going to be an adult foster care. And those communities have an in-house staff that is provided by that community. So they truly are available around the clock to help with physical assistance, dressing, grooming, showers, all of those things whenever the person needs them and whenever it's convenient to them. So this is really for someone who needs a caregiver, who needs an environment where that care is easily accessible, They're open to a residential environment that is a little more social than maybe being at home. And they can use payment forms like a long-term care insurance policy, like Veterans Aid and Attendance, and different things of that nature. In terms of memory care, I won't go into a whole lot of detail, but memory cares are assisted livings. They offer all of the same things that assisted livings offer. Their focus, however, is more on being supportive cognitively to the residents because they have that cognition impairment, dementia, Alzheimer's. So at Brookdale, that means our memory cares are staffed at an even higher staff ratio because that acuity is going to be higher. We want to give those residents more time to be independent, more time to communicate and do things on their own. And so we're going to staff more people so that that can happen. So, in terms of the care piece, it's very similar. They're still able to provide the dressing and grooming assistance, showers, bathroom, all of that. But everything's geared more towards supporting them cognitively. And then when you get into skilled nursing, that's really an environment where you need a nurse or a doctor monitoring your care on a daily basis. Things like a trach or a vent, a constant feeding tube. Those are all good examples of conditions that would be best treated in a skilled nursing environment.
Okay. So you mentioned that Brookdale has, bases their level of care based on the acuity of the client. So can you tell us anything else about what Brookdale offers in the community?
So Brookdale has a wide array of things that they offer to the residents, and everything's really geared towards that quality of life and sense of purpose, whether it's programs and activities, whether it's meals, everything is really geared towards the individual and those things that they need in order to have a fulfilled life. Even our dining is very well thought out. So as far as I know, we're one of the only places that has multiple smaller dining rooms. And the reason for that is statistically, no matter how great your programs or activities are, the highest level of socialization occurs in the dining room. So why not make that experience more intimate, easier, by having less background noise, less interference, just less chaos, so that they can enjoy that social moment that much more. So, that's just one example of really the thought process that Brookdale has in approaching senior living. Everything is coming from a place of how can we provide the best quality of life to our residents? How can we help them to still feel like that unique, special individual that they've always been all their life, that they shouldn't have to give up just because they're coming into an assisted living environment. So whether that's showering them on the schedule that they're familiar with from home, to giving them those individual one-on-one programs and activities, to listening and responding to the feedback of our residents in terms of what they want to see more of or less of. So it's a really great environment for someone who doesn't want to feel like just another number.
Right. Individuality needs to be a high priority, I'm sure, just to make everybody comfortable. So,
sure.
Oh yeah. So how does someone know when it's the right time to look into getting into maybe an assisted living home?
Sure. So, that's going to be a combination of some different things. And I'm sure you run into this in your business with the private duty home care. Everyone wants to stay in their home. And unfortunately, that's not an option for everyone, whether it's due to finances or the level of care that they need. So it's an individual decision, and then it's also a family decision of, how can we best support our loved one? And for that individual, how can I get the care that I need while still meeting, my desires in terms of how I want to live? So, whether that's thinking, okay, the cost of bringing someone in around the clock we can't financially afford, or the care needs that they have, would be best supported by having more staff and more resources available. Whatever that reason is, it's something that you start off in the exploratory mode, right? And at Brookdale, we're here to help that person find the next step, even if we're not the right one. So if they come to me and say, here's what we're thinking, we're so confused, we're really not sure what the right step is, then we have this conversation where we really vet all those different options and make sure that the community's solution is the best one for them and their loved ones. And if it's not, where do we then refer them so they can get their needs met?
Okay, great. Well, thank you for joining us today. And we totally appreciate your sponsorship of the podcast so that we can educate the community even more about senior care options.
And we really love being a part of your podcast. We think it's such an important tool and resource for families and individuals in the community to be able to learn about things that they're just not sure of. It can feel so overwhelming when you get put in a situation where you don't know what to do next. So we're happy to be a part of it and support you and support the community.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back. Our next guest is SarahKate Van Auker, and she is from Courtyard at Delta. Thank you for joining us today, SarahKate. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today, Deborah.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And also, thanks so much for the sponsorship for this podcast so that we can educate the community.
We really appreciate everything you do, and it is very important for everybody to have education. That's always the key piece that so many people are missing when they get to this stage.
Oh, definitely. So tell us a little bit about Courtyard at Delta and what your role is there.
So the Courtyard at Delta is a brand new community to the Lansing area. We are on the west side of Lansing. We are still under construction right now. However, we will be welcoming new residents in February. We will be providing assisted living and memory care. We have two sections of our building, both of which are arranged around large interior courtyards, thus the name. I know, super creative.
Yeah, I love it.
But it is going to be an upscale community with a lot of emphasis on personal choices and customization for each of our residents.
Okay. And how many residents will you be able to handle?
We'll be able to have, we have 53 assisted living apartment homes and then 32 memory care apartment homes. The memory care apartment homes are each individual studio apartments. Memory care, we do have a selection of one bedroom and assisted living. We do have a selection of one bedroom and studio apartments available. So we can have anywhere probably from about 85 to a maximum of around 100 or so residents, depending on if we have double occupancy in any of our one bedrooms.
Okay. And so what are some signs that someone may be ready for assisted living?
One of the things I always like to talk about is when you are at a point in your life where we all wake up with a certain finite amount of energy every single day. And when we're young, that energy can sometimes go for days. You can go to a football game, you can stay up all night, do your homework, and be good to go the next day again without ever sleeping. And you can do that for a long time. And then you get to be middle-aged and it doesn't go quite as far. And then when you get to be a certain point, and that finite amount of energy that you wake up with every day is just enough to cover the basics of self-care in your home, enough to maybe make the bed, do some vacuuming, heaven forbid you have to mow the lawn, and then you're done and you're wiped out for the day. If you're at a point where your energy is not allowing you to enjoy your life, where you're at a point where you are spending all of your time on just maintenance, and then you're done, that's a sign that it might be time to make a change and let other people take care of the housekeeping, the meals, all that basic everyday stuff, so you can focus on the things that really are meaningful to you in life. If that's engaging with your family, spending time with grandkids, if that's being a volunteer in the community, if that's being involved in your faith group, if that's doing art or teaching people how to build machines, whatever floats your boat. But the thing that you haven't done in a while that you miss, that you just don't have the energy for, we want to take all of those things off your plate so that you can live your best life in this era of your life. You shouldn't have to waste all of your valuable energy and heart and soul and passion on things that are just treading water for you.
Right. I see that a lot of times too, and a lot of people don't like giving up their independence, but sometimes it actually gives them more independence if they look at it the right way, in terms of, oh, well, I've always done my laundry, I've always done my cleaning, but then you're too tired to go out and have any fun. So you might as well choose what you can still do and enjoy yourself.
Exactly. You need to engage in things that are going to give your life meaning and make you happy, because what's the point? You get to retire from everything else. You're supposed to be able to retire from your job, but you can't retire from laundry, for goodness sakes. It doesn't make you helpless. It's not giving up independence. It's letting someone else take care of the little things because you've been taking care of them your entire life.
Right.
So spend some time taking care of your heart and your soul and liberate yourself from that so that you can do the things you're passionate about.
Okay. So what are the different types of senior living options available?
There's lots of different senior living options out there, and there's different fits for everybody. There is, of course, home care, like you provide at First Light. There's independent living, which are usually simplified apartment homes that might have some add-on services available, but are mostly designed for accessibility more so than anything else in a community. Assisted living provides support and can help you with all the things that family members could help you with. If it was back in the old days where you had 100 different family members living in the same town, we take care of things at assisted living, like everything from taking care of your meals and that laundry to helping dispense medications, making sure you get them on time, helping you keep track of doctor's appointments, transportation, getting dressed, getting undressed, helping when you shower if you need it. And then care, which of course is directed with specializations with folks who are having some of the dementias and need orientation in time and space, days of the week, and just need help functioning at their highest level possible for as long as possible. And then, of course, there's skilled nursing, which is going to help fill in those medical needs for people who need their daily needs overseen by medical professionals each day. So where you fit on that broad spectrum of options out there is really going to be individualized for the person.
Mm-hmm. So what should people think about when they're shopping for senior living and a new home?
Well, it's just like when you're shopping for a house. You want to walk in and you want to feel at home. You want to walk in and feel like this is a place I can spend some time. This is the stage on which I can live my life. When you walk in, look at the other residents. Are they happy? Are they saying positive things? Do they look like they are content and well cared for? Does the place smell good? Does the place meet your aesthetic? If you walk into a place that's very industrial looking and you are a country chic person, you're probably not going to feel at home there. So you want to find a place that resonates with you. Every senior community has its own character. and has its own unique set of people who are there to serve you and atmosphere. And when you walk in, you want to know that this is an atmosphere that you can feel at home in. And there's a broad range, and you just try them out and find the one that works for you.
So is there anything special about the Courtyard at Delta that you want to talk about?
Well, the Courtyard at Delta, of course, is going to be shiny and new. And we're going to have a chef and chef prepared meals. Everything that the Courtyard communities really focus on is everyone's individual experience. The activities team puts together programming based off of the interests of the people in the community. The chef can interact with the folks in the community, take requests, tweak the meals, listen to feedback, try new recipes. Everything is really catered to the taste of the people who are there, because everywhere is unique and every set of residents is unique and every person is unique. And our job is really to support you and give you wings.
So you said it's opening in February. When will people be able to stop by and visit?
Well, right now we have a sales office that's open. That's where I'm at right now temporarily until everybody who's wearing a hard hat gets out of my building so I can take people in. We should have construction done in October, and hopefully, fingers crossed, as long as nothing gets in our way, we can have people come view the building sometime in November. And by then we still have a little bit of time before our licensure is complete. And so move-ins will start in February, but we are taking reservations now. We got about 10% of the rooms reserved presently. So if people are interested, I've got videos, I've got photos, I've got a giant map on my wall with the entire layout of the community, and we can start talking here and now.
Can you provide some things that are in the community besides just, rooms?
Of course. Well, we do have the enclosed courtyard, so there's lots of outdoor space. We have a large style theater that we're going to be able to have movie showings, the game, Go State, and have performances in. We have a lovely dining room that's restaurant style for those chef prepared meals, a library, activities rooms. We have in the assisted living side, you have kind of residential hallways, and then you have the communal living areas in the middle. And then on the memory care side, it's been designed a little differently with community areas in every single hallway. So there's never a time where people go too far before they're interacting with someone. And it helps with orientation and for those who might have wandering to have those moments and places in every single hallway where they get to interact with people. So everything's going to be beautifully designed. Our designers have done a great job making it very natural and trying to bring the outdoors in with the color scheme and make everything feel very, very comfortable and very airy and bright.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And also thank you again for the sponsorship for the podcast this season.
Well, thank you for everything you do. Love working with you, and have a great day.
You too.
Exciting things are happening here in Delta Township. The Courtyard at Delta is well underway, constructing your brand new home, bringing the finest in senior living and care to the West Side. We'd love to have you join us for an appointment here at our sales center in Grand Ledge, or see you at one of the many events that we host, where we can learn more about you, your needs, and how we can best serve you and your loved ones at our new community. Call us at 517-775-6217.
The friendship, the closeness that two people can have.
My caretaker just does everything I ask her to do.
Motivates me to the extent that I know that I can live another day.
She's my transportation. When we shop, groceries, she fixes my hair for me. And she makes her lunch, she makes supper. She just ordinarily is a companion. And she walks the dog, which is wonderful. And so she's a lovely companion.
I love her. She's fantastic, and she's doing a good job.
Hello.
Hi.
Ashley. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So this is Ashley Crosser. She is from the Alzheimer's Association. She's a development manager, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does and about the big walk that's coming up. So let's get going here. So
All right. So I'm Ashley, as Dr. Deb said, I am the development manager for the Lansing Walk to End Alzheimer's. Our walk is coming up on October 13th down in downtown Lansing at the Capitol. I always find it fun to say that because people don't even realize we actually take over the full Capitol lawn, and then we do the walk that, sees the Justice Building and all the other monuments that are downtown. So I'm very excited for it.
Okay. So what all do you do to get prepared for the walk?
Oh man, so there's a lot. We have a committee that you actually sit on to help plan walk. You're there with us going through this whole thing. We have a logistics side, a event day of side. It may not seem like that, but there really are those people that are, behind the scenes picking at all the things that could happen. My job is just to make sure that it goes smoothly and that we do get our sponsors and the people who donate all the prizes, the gifts that they win, fundraising supplies that they might need throughout the year, and just kind of keep fostering those relationships as we move forward throughout the years with the Alzheimer's Association.
Okay. So talk about the walk to end Alzheimer's. For example, how many people typically walk? How many teams are there? How many more do we need this year? And what the money goes for, so people realize it's such a great cause.
So right now we're at 90 teams, and we need 30 more in order to hit our team goal for the year. We have raised almost $50,000 this year. I still have some money that needs to be counted into that. It's a sponsorship money as well. But our goal for the Lansing Walk this year is $145,000. We're a little over 37% of the way there. And we're hoping that walk can bring in some more fundraising dollars. So the money is used for research to help find a cure for Alzheimer's. Right now, there is not a cure. There are treatment options out there. The FDA actually just approved one, I want to say back in June. So it was a really big breakthrough. They have a drug now that can actually slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. So you have to, the biggest thing on that is you have to get diagnosed early. As soon as you start seeing the signs of forgetfulness, agitation, etc., that's when you need to have those conversations with your provider. The walk is actually the world's largest fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. So the walk throughout the United States brings in more funds for research, support, and care than even sponsorships and stuff from the NIL and the NIH. So it's actually pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so the research is being done, and I noticed that you mentioned that people need to right away get that diagnosis, but a lot of people are also in denial. So how do you convince somebody that they better get checked so they can slow it down? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to miss the opportunity.
So that's a really good question. Honestly, I don't handle that side of that stuff. That's more for our case managers. But I will tell you that the Alzheimer's Association does have a 24/7 phone number. That phone number can be called from anybody in the state of Michigan or really around the world because it all goes to certain people. The people that are on the other lines of this phone numbers are licensed caseworkers and social workers. And they make sure that they guide you through the steps of maybe having that conversation with your loved one or figuring out the best options to go about getting diagnoses, but they also just stay. They help make sure that you're there. You find the assisted living or memory care facility you may need, for home care that may, might need to come in. But there are different ways to have those conversations.
Okay. So explain to the community what happens on walk day, what all is involved, and how long does it take, and how far do you have to walk, and all of that good stuff.
So on October 13th down at the Capitol, registration will begin at 11:30. What this is, you walk in, you say, I'm here to walk. I know my name's already on that list, but let me get checked in. So you're going to get checked in at the registration tent, and then you have some time to kind of be free and move around. We have a bunch of different vendors coming. They're mostly senior living facilities or memory care facilities that, have sponsored Walk or are national partners with Walk. We have a few radio stations coming as they are our media sponsors. And then you have the Promise Garden, which is, we have the flowers of 4 different types of colors. And all of those colors mean a significant thing for the Alzheimer's Association. So you can go pick that flower that means the most to you, write your loved one's name, write your name, and then you're going to hold it up at the opening ceremony, which begins at 12:30. That opening ceremony is going to be kind of talking about how much money we raised, thanking our sponsors, thanking the champions that have raised at least $500 or more. And then you're going to go for a walk. That walk is about 2.2 miles. It's not much. There is a shortcut, I will tell you that. So you don't have to do the whole walk. But we're going to actually bring it up next to the Capitol this year. They just did a bunch of construction on the opposite side of the Capitol from where we're starting. So I think it's a good time to show it off and show off all the nice stuff. But there's going to be an opportunity drawing. We have businesses donate gift baskets and gift certificates that you can, spend some money, which all goes to the Alzheimer's Association, but you can enter for a chance to win a few gift baskets. And then we have our memory wall, of course. We're going to have some dance teams come and do some entertainment. The League of Enchantment is coming. I was a little sad Sparty can't be there this year, but hopefully we'll get them back next year. So we have some exciting things that are going to be happening that day.
It sounds like a lot of fun as usual. I've been going for quite a few years myself, and I think people, once they get there, it's hard not to go back, because it is a fun day, but it's also for a good cause.
And I feel like there's a lot of a support group style atmosphere, especially for those that have lost people to Alzheimer's or dementia, people that are getting just those diagnoses to begin with. How do they navigate this, and connecting them to people that they probably even didn't realize had a connection to Alzheimer's. I can't tell you how many times I sit underneath the opportunity tent and I hear someone having a conversation, and they've known each other for years, but they didn't realize that they had this in common. So it's pretty exciting day.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add about maybe how somebody can get involved with the committee, or how to get a team started?
So the best thing to do is, if you're interested, you can just Google the Lansing Walk to End Alzheimer's, and it has all the information there. You can donate, you can register your team. There's a button down there that actually goes right to my email, that if you want to volunteer to be on the committee, volunteer day of, they can always reach out to me. My phone number is across the screen there. So they are more than welcome to reach out.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast today. And I look forward to seeing you real soon.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Exciting things are happening here in Delta Township. The Courtyard at Delta is well underway. constructing your brand new home, bringing the finest in senior living and care to the West Side.
We'd love to have you join us for an appointment here at our sales center in Grand Ledge, or see you at one of the many events that we host, where we can learn more about you, your needs, and how we can best serve you and your loved ones at our new community.
Call us at 517-775-6217.
I'm Dr. Deborah Moerland, your host and owner of First Light Home Care of Greater Lansing and Brighton. I want to thank you again for joining us today on Senior Care Insights. A big thank you to our wonderful guests, Audrey, Kingdon, and Kristen Hasso from Brookdale, SarahKate Van Auker from Courtyard at Delta, and Ashley Crosser from the Alzheimer's Association. I also want to thank the Brookdale and Courtyard at Delta again for being our sponsors of the show. Until next time, have a great day.